Warning, this video contains spoilers for all of the Fears to Fathom games shown on screen. If you have not played them already, then I recommend you save this video and come back at a later time. Enjoy. So, Fears to Fathom, this small game that nobody has heard of, right? Well, yeah, I think if you clicked on this video, then I'm pretty sure you already know what we're going to talk about today, but don't worry if you don't, because we're going to break down all of the episodes, but first, let's explain what is Fears to Fathom. Fears to Fathom is a series that takes place through episodes. Each episode is basically someone's real life event, where we play as a boy who is home alone, to a man who's just trying to find a job at a fire lookout tower, and much more. Currently, at the time of making this video, 6 episodes, the newest being Scratch Creek, which marks season 2 of Fears to Fathom, and also features co-op, which has never been in these games until now. So we'll go through all of the games in chronological order, going through the story to the best of my ability, but please, I recommend you go and try them out for yourself before you let me ruin your first experience with these games. But if that sounds good, then grab a snack or a drink, and let's get started. We begin this episode by playing as a 14-year-old boy named Miles, and he's left alone in his house. So we do the usual, like make some food, watch TV, but that's when we head upstairs to finish some homework, and after a bit we get tired and we go to sleep, until we get thirsty in the middle of the night, so we decide to head down to grab a drink. Then we get a message from our mom telling us if that's us outside. We check the blinds and there's a weird guy out there. Our mom then tells us to be careful and find a place to hide. We find a spot under our bed, but then that's when we hear the window break, and now we know someone is inside. Some time goes by and we hear knocking at the front door. Our mom says that's the neighbor Paula outside waiting, but we can't be too sure on where this intruder is right now. But we don't open the front door because if we do, this happens. So we go back to hiding and we wait for the cops to show up, and after a bit we start hearing sirens and the episode comes to an end. Next up, we have Norwood Hitchhike. We start this episode in a car heading back home from a gaming convention. We're driving on the road, getting some text messages from our parents and friends, but remember kids, never text and drive. After some time, we get a sound telling us that we need gas, and thankfully there's a gas station not too far down the road. We enter the gas station, and while paying for gas, the cashier tells us a story about the bridge not far from the gas station and how people were going missing over there, which he says was probably from the Norwood Valley monster, and how this monster would tear up these people and hang them upside down from trees. If that wasn't enough, right before we step out, he tells us another story of a woman who tragically passed away in a car accident and is now a vengeful spirit, and that if you see a woman by the road asking for a ride, to never stop. After refilling our tank, we get a text from our mom asking if we can get some dog food. So we do. It might be a little stale, but hey, what can you do? So we can finally hit the road again, and after some time we start to notice our lights are flickering on and off. We cross the supposedly scary bridge and we head down the hill, but that's when we see that there are logs blocking our path. So we do the only thing that we can do, and we move them. You can see here that we try to stop our car, but it just doesn't want to start. Probably the blinker fluid. So now we're stranded. But then there's a car, and he comes by and he leaves us. But then finally we get this saint of a driver who finally stops for us, and after sounding a little on edge, he offers us a ride. We take it, and so we grab our stuff from our car and off we go. We chat with him in the car, and after some time we arrive to the motel. He can't stay, so he leaves us there, so we grab a room. And let me tell you something, always make sure to clear all the rooms whenever you stay at a place, because what's up, dude? Yeah, you never know. Thankfully, this is just the room service guy, and he asks us to step aside while he finishes up. So in the meantime, we decide to go and grab our luggage, and when we come back, he's all done, and finally we can lay down. But when we're getting to bed, we see this guy peeking into our room. Anyways, our character says that she's feeling a little anxious and that a hot cup of coffee would help. And after finding the machine, we pay, and after taking a sip, this happens. Oh my things are inverted. The movements are We were sedated, but we managed to get back into our room and get into our bed. And after waking up again, we could see that this stranger hid in our closet. Thankfully, we hear someone knocking at the front door and we check and it's the hotel manager, but he isn't so happy to see us because he thinks that we're going around pranking other people and he notices that our eyes are red. So we bring up the coffee machine, but he says that they don't have one. We tell him to follow us so we can show him where it is. And when we take him to the machine, it's gone. He tells us to go back to our room and that there's pills in the drawer next to the TV. We take the pills and that's when we hear knocking at the front door again. We see who it is and it's just some stranger, but he seems to really want to come inside. We ask him to leave, but then he starts banging at the door. We hide in the closet and eventually he breaks in. He tries to search for us, and when he's in the bathroom, we can see the manager sneaks up on him and he knocks him out, giving us the ending to Norwood Hitchhike. We start off this episode with our protagonist. He tells us his name, which is Noah, and that this event happened when he was 18. We wake up in a laundromat, and after some walking, we go through a door and we find this weird sort of liminal space, and we run into this person. He tells us if we have bleach, and after some dialogue, he stands up, says our name, and tells us to wake up. And that's what happens. It seems like we were just sleeping on the way to the house we were going to stay at. So we get told that the keys for the house are under a fake rock, and after finding it, we enter through the back door, and the first thing we do is use the bathroom. And I'm gonna tell you right now that this game has like a weird thing with bathrooms, but we'll talk more about that later. But after we find a spot where we can do some of our homework and find out that the computer in the room works, but as of right now, we do not have access to it. So we get a message from Carson letting us know that it's time to feed Zeke, which is a dog that's out back. He lets us know that the food is in the basement, so we grab a flashlight and we head down. And so after finding the food, we head up and feed Zeke. And after that, we decide to head back upstairs to work on our homework. But then we get another message from Carson asking us if we're computer whiz and if we could fix his computer. And so now we log into his computer and we have to download a antivirus so it can clean up the computer. And after the wait, we can now access the security cameras, which is going to play an important role in just a bit. We get another message, but this time it's a girl that we're talking with, Evelyn Cooper. She asks us to check the TV, so we head downstairs, and let me just say, it's a very weird show that we're about to watch.
Hello, welcome to Cooking with Jeffrey. I'm Jeffrey, and today we are cooking cat food. I love me cat food. It's my favorite dish. It's super enjoyable and healthy.
What did I tell you? Anyways, Carson messages us again asking us to go to the grocery store to pick up some things. He sent us a list and we grabbed the money from the nightstand. Roy then tells us to ride his son's bike to make it a little easier. While at the store, we run into some of our old friends, Turner and Andy. They mentioned that our girl was there, but then she just left. We ask what was her name and they say Kara. Obviously, this isn't our girlfriend, but instead our ex. After some dialogue, we walk away and we grab the rest of the groceries, pay, and head back home. After putting down the groceries, we head to the bathroom to, you guessed it. Now, finally, after sitting down, we get spammed from our friend telling us to search Roy Carson divorce, and the results show us that there was people who were previously trying to send death threats to Roy, the owner of the house. But now, how is that important? Well, if you have been paying attention, then you know that we are staying at Roy's house, and now that we are in the crossfire of these threats. And also, why wouldn't Roy let us know about any of this? I feel like this would be very important, but whatever. We get an alert that there's movement from the cameras, and when we check, it's the pizza delivery guy. So we head down, grab the pizza, and watch some TV while we eat. But then we hear a knock at the front door, and let me give you a pro tip. If you have cameras, use them. And I'm glad I did because we were able to get this. So we head down to pick up the flowers that were left for us, and we also got some texts asking how are we and what did we have for dinner. Obviously we leave them on red and head upstairs to finish up our homework, then suddenly the power went off. But thankfully Roy installed a backup power supply for the cameras, and after we carefully navigated the house, we didn't notice anything and head outside to turn the power back on. So while heading back to the room, we get some messages from the unknown sender again, and this time they seem to really be furious at us, but we don't pay too much attention to it and we just go back and finish our homework. And that's until we hear something. The oven is on. So we do the most basic thing in a horror game and head downstairs to turn it off. Now, Noah was starting to get fed up and thought that the person doing all of this was our best pal, Turner. So we ask Andy for his contact, but he says that Turner is with him. But then we get a notification that there's movement coming from the cameras, and when we check it out, there's someone in the house checking all of the rooms, but now they're standing right outside the one we are in. After trying to sneak away, they say that they know that we're there, so we confront them. After giving us a not so happy response, they tried to come inside, but what they did not know was that the side that they're on was barricaded, so we take that time to hide. But while searching for us, we have no other option but to haul ass. And when I say haul ass, I mean more like a light jog, because our protagonist never seemed to have taken a PE class in her life. But with that, we get the ending of this episode with Noah escaping and our crazy ex getting arrested. Our next episode is Ironbark Lookout, and probably the most popular episode out there. We start with our protagonist driving on the highway, getting some fresh air, and driving to our new job as a fire lookout. We stop at a burger place our sister told us about, and after finishing up, we hit the road again. We get to our destination, and we get jump scared by the ranger working there, and after talking to him, he gets everything set up. After giving us a flashlight, we get our bags, and we head up to our designated tower, Tower 11. We get to the tower and set our bags down. We notice that there's no power, so we head downstairs to grab the gasoline can from the shed and refill the generator. Now that we have power, the computer and radio work, so we log into our computer and get a noise from the radio. It's Tower 12, and this is where we get some voice lines, something this game hasn't had until now, which is very nice and shows just how far this game has come in just a short amount of time.
I saw your light turn on. I gotta say, it's refreshing to see Tower 11 alive again.
We get his name, Connor Hawkins, and so we just have a back and forth conversation. That's until we say that we're tired and Connor asks us if we have a fire. Sadly, there's no firewood stored in the tower, so we have to head down into the shed and grab some firewood. Thankfully though, nothing happens and we get our fire started, but before we can go to sleep, we are told that we are required to send a report every night before we sign off. We finish up and now we can head to bed. We get woken up in the middle of the night with some sounds coming from the radio. We can't figure out what it was, so we just drop it, and now we go outside to use the bathroom. See, I told you it'd come up again. But while we were relieving ourselves, we see a shadowy figure spying on us. It seems like by accident they turn on their flashlight and get scared and run off. Looks like a character didn't notice a bright flashlight pointing at him, so he heads to bed. We start day 2 with this beautiful view and decide to send a picture to our sister. While walking back inside the tower, we get radioed by Connor. He tells us if we see the smoke, and after confirming it, he asks us if we can go check it out. We say yes and take our bear spray with us just because you never know what might be out there. We jump to 8:37 p.m., which means it's already dark out, and while walking to the campsite, yeah, I don't think he's having a good time. We also hear a person whistling not too far, but because of the dense trees, we do not see anyone. We put out the fire, and with that, we have nothing else to do, so we make our way back to the tower. We report to Connor what we saw and heard, and he says that the screams were more than likely from a red fox. We say it sounded a lot more manly than a fox, but he doesn't really seem to care and says that a lot of people were starting to camp out near the area due to 3 kids going missing about a month ago, and that people believe that there are entities that live in the forest. He then asks us if we believe in those rumors, and after saying no, we sign off and make a report for the night. But before we can go to sleep, we make some food, pizza pasta bake. After throwing the food into the oven, we get radioed again by Connor. He says that he reported new info to the authorities and that they'll handle everything in the morning. He signs off for the night and we grab our food. After eating, we get a fire going, but per usual, we don't have any firewood in the tower, so we head down to the shack to grab some. We also close all the blinds and head to bed. We wake up at 2:27 a.m. to what sounds like whistling outside the window. We see a figure in dark clothing right outside the door, and it looks like he's doing something. After he leaves, we check out whatever he was setting up, and it was a skull with some candles, looking almost ritualistic. We contact Connor, and he isn't so happy to hear us, but we still explain what just happened, and he says it's probably just some of the kids pulling a prank on us. We assure him that this isn't just some prank, but he brings up the obvious. It's dark out and there isn't much we can do. So we head to bed and just try and sleep it off. It's now 8:34 p.m. and while on watch, we see a flare go up. And when we walk into the tower, we hear another person on the radio. They sound like they're lost and they ask us for help. They give us some details on their surroundings, and he says that he's at a fork in the road and he says if he should take the left or right trail. After telling him to go to the right, this happens.
I'm at a trail intersection now, but I can't remember if I should take the right trail or the left to get back to the trailhead. Can you help me? I'm going to be honest. I had my suspicions on the left trail, but if you say so, right one it is. I couldn't have trusted myself with this decision. Thanks for helping me through this. I'm right here! I hear you. I hear your whistles. What? I see you behind the trees to my right. You're freaking me out.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's coming back. My bad. We get cut off due to some knocking at the door, and after checking it out, it's the sheriff. He gives us some things and he asks us what we were doing there last night, talking about the campfire. We tell him that we had to check it out, and he seemed very strange after. He tells us to be safe and walks away. We get ready to close for the night, and we do the usual, like eat and get our report in. But while getting some more firewood, this happens. So after changing out my underwear, we get introduced to Silas. He says that he's a worker and that he's doing some maintenance work on the radio tower just down the hill. We ask him why he's up here so late, and he says that he's just trying to keep the communication lines up. But then he says that they must ensure that the right messages reach the right places, then follows it up with some fires aren't meant to be burned and no amount of prevention can stop them. He then tells us to have a good night and ends off with this: curiosity can lead to places you'd rather not go. Little ominous, Silas, but we head back and we get our fire going. But right before we can hit the hay, we get radioed by Connor asking us why it took us so long just to get some firewood. We tell him that I ran into Silas, but Connor seems confused and says,
Ran into who? Is this about yesterday? You trying to yank my chain now? That radio tower's been out of service for ages now. It was closed down years ago after a lightning strike fried its systems, and its repair cost was deemed too costly. Its repair date was postponed until the next big funding, which is no time soon, according to Mitch. Look, if what you're saying is true, it could be another one of those goons playing pranks on you. Knew your name. You think he's been listening? Either way, disguising as a staff member is strictly forbidden according to park guidelines. Next time you see him, get his information, or take a photo. We need to figure this out.
but now we can head to bed, and we fast forward 2 days later at 9:18 p.m. It's raining heavily outside, and we're sitting at our desk when we get radioed by Connor. He tells us that there's a new update for the computers to prevent people from snooping around. He leaves and we go ahead and update our computer, but right before it's about to finish updating, the power goes out. We head down to fill up the generator again, and while we were down there, we might as well use a bathroom. But with that, we're done for the night, so we head to bed. We get woken up at 2:34 a.m. by Connor. He tells us,
Jack, you copy? Okay, tell you what. I don't have the energy to do this right now. I've been here busting my ass, working on that old piece of garbage generator. And now I'm seeing this. I'm seeing more smoke to my west. Looks like we got another camper. It appears to be in your sector. Do you see the campsite from your end?
we grab our binoculars, and when we zoom in, we see that there's a group of people in costumes around a bonfire. We had to grab evidence, so we take our camera to take a photo, and we get the perfect shot. They scatter, and we can see that one of them is coming up the hill, so we have to hide under our bed. They manage to break in, and they start looking for us. We notice that there's a window now to book it, and we cannot let that slip from our grasp. We run down the tower and hide inside the porta potty, but this person still doesn't seem to have seen us. And while they were walking away, we run down the hill to the RV and we drive off. It seems like Jack gets away and he stops at his nearest gas station, where he radios HQ. But they don't seem to take him seriously. Not only them, but his family too. He leaves us just by asking to be safe whenever we go out and camp. And with that, we get the ending of Ironbark Lookout. The second to last episode we have is Woodbury Getaway, and we start off in an office where we head out to grab some coffee. After sipping down our coffee, we head to the bathroom too. Do I have to say it? But when we step outside the stall, we get scared by the janitor. After having some back and forth conversations, we walk back to our desk, which we can also hear the phone ringing. We pick it up and it's our friend Mike, and I'm just gonna let you guys hear this conversation.
Hey, Harp, it's Mike. I've been trying to call your cell for the last 2 hours. It just keeps going to voicemail. Is everything all right? Oh, snap. I was starting to think maybe you were ignoring me. I'm just kidding. Anyway, what are you still doing at work? It's getting kind of late. Damn, Harp, that sounds rough. Good thing I called to cheer you up. About our trip, did you get a chance to book the rental house? Just really wanted to see you. And Nora. No worries, Harper, I don't want to stress you out. As long as you book it tonight, I think it'll be fine. Hey, I was thinking, since we both live in the city, maybe I could pick you up and ride together. It'd be nice to catch up. You know, save on gas and relive the good old days. Just a little bit of Mike and Sydney time before Nora gets there. Great. I guess I'll let you get back to work then. Oh, wait, one more thing. When you book the rental, please make sure to keep it under $100 a night. Nora and I were talking, and she's been on a pretty tight budget. Things haven't been going very well for her.
So yeah, we look up some houses to book and we come across this cabin. It's right within our budget and has plenty of space for everybody. So we book it and we cut to the elevator where we talk to this kind man, and after stepping out we see Mike pulled up in his truck. We give him a hug even if it's a little awkward and we head off. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, this episode has a lot of dialogue, but it really shows what kind of people Mike and Harp are. So I'm gonna do my best to break down all of this talk. Mike opens up with talking about how they want to escape college, but now they want to escape the life that they're in. He talks about his job, which sounds like it has to do something with the market. He mentions our job, which reveals that we are a consultant. Mike says though that he misses college and he's glad that it brought him and Harp together. Harp questions him and Mike corrects himself. Some back and forth conversation happens and we cut to 5:14 p.m. We pull into this restaurant called Moe's Pizza. We order some pizza and grab a seat, and this is where I noticed something absolutely mind-blowing. Here, take a look.
Sister works at the mixing board. You would have never been able to work here if it wasn't for her. I'd like to see you work the ENG sometime.
How dare you? I'm a certified news anchor.
That is
Certified.
queso. What the hell?
Yeah, my ass, okay? Shit, how about I come by the studio and we settle this like men?
Oh yeah? Well, let's do it, punk. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
After taking a seat, we get a voice message from Nora.
Oh, you guys are going to hate me. I swear I'll get on the road as soon as I can. But something last minute popped up. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details. The long and short of it is one of my clients needs a last minute change. Their payments are about the only thing keeping the lights on. I hate to leave so late, but I gotta keep them happy. I'll have this logo done before you know it and be on my way.
So it sounds like she isn't gonna make it on time, but we get called up and grab our pizza. And this is where we get to the scariest part of the game. The eating sounds. Yeah, what did I tell you? While scoffing down our pizza, this stranger walks up to us. He asks us for a ride, but we politely decline. It sounds like he gets a little offended and he walks away. Mike says that the stranger didn't even order anything, and we eat the rest of our pizza. We offer Mike that we can drive the rest of the way, and let me just tell you, it was smooth sailing. Yo! Hey, take that, buddy. Oh. After some little bumps in the road, we make it to the cabin. We put in the code and we grab the keys. We put down our bags and we restock the fridge while Mike goes to the bathroom. After we're done, Mike comes out and now we go to the bathroom. And now that we're relaxed, we decide to walk around and check out the rooms. And while checking the rooms upstairs... Oh! This man is Rick, the owner of the house. He shows us around the house, like the shower and a couple of other rooms, but then he finally shows us the basement. Mike points out this strange room, but clearly Rick does not want us to be inside there, so we pay no mind. And we start to head back upstairs. And this is where Rick tells us that the original owner's mother passed away in the basement. Now, if we hear any strange things down here, then we already know who is responsible. As he's walking out, he asks us our names because, you know, old age and you forget a lot of stuff. We tell him it's Sydney and he says this. He leaves and we tell Mike that we're gonna go head upstairs and take a shower. When we're done, we head downstairs to see Mike holding a fishing pole. He tells us that there's more in the shed out back, and so we follow him to join him with fishing. There's a river behind the house as well, and so after catching a couple carp, we head back inside where we start getting dinner ready. After getting everything ready, we throw the food into the oven and now we wait. Mike suggests that we grab a board game to pass the time. We grab the Ouija board and Mike thinks it would be an amazing idea to play it in the basement. Yeah, no, Mike, we're not gonna do that. We're down in the basement, and while playing the Ouija board, we start hearing weird noises, but nothing weird happened. We meet Mike upstairs. Clearly, we're both startled now, but we try to brush it off and get our food now that it's ready. We sit down, and that's where we meet an old friend of ours.
Back to cooking.
Oh, it's
with
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. I'm Jeffrey, and today we will be cooking asparagus chocolate cake with a spoonful of mayonnaise.
Yes, Jeffrey does come back with even more delicious dishes than before. Now that we're done, Mike says that we make a greet team, and he heads upstairs to check up on some emails. And while cleaning the dishes, Mike texts us that he thinks that there's someone under his bed. We hurriedly check up on him, and he scares us. After being a little mad at Mike, we start a game of hide and seek. After Mike finds us, he says that it's his turn, and when we find him in the closet, he says that he hears something upstairs. We notice the hatch and grab a nearby stool, and when we check it out, it's just a cat. We head back down, and Mike says to make our next hiding spot a little more challenging. So we pick out the shed. After Mike finds us, it's now our turn to be the seeker. We count down, and now we have to go find him. We search the rooms to find him, but when we open the bathroom door, we see that it's the owner again. Obviously, he scares us, which alerts Mike. We confront him because this isn't normal behavior for an owner to do, especially when you have clients already booking out the cabin. He says that he's just fixing the faucet with a hammer. After getting angry at us, he says that this is our problem now and storms off. It cuts to black, and we fast forward to us in bed. We hear knocking on the door, and it's Mike. He comes inside and tells us how he's feeling about the owner barging in unannounced. He sits on the edge of the bed and he asks us to join him so he can tell us something. He tells us if we're feeling unsafe sleeping by ourselves, he can join. We tell him if he would say that if Nora was here. He brings up the road trip to Oregon, but then that's when we get a voice message from Nora.
Guys, I think I'm about 70 miles away from Woodbury, and my stinking tire just blew out. My brother said he checked them a few days ago, but, well, you know how reliable Joseph is? Anyway, it's snowing, and I'm on the side of the road on Highway 11 near Killington. There's a sign by the side of the road. It's hard to see. I think it says Kent Pond. I'm freaking the hell out. The snow is like half of a deep, and I can't get the lug nuts off the tire. I hate to ask, but can you two come get me? Or help change the tire? I just want to get to the house, drink some wine on the couch, and dry. There's enough gas in the car to keep the heater running, but I'm going to lose my mind if I have to sleep in my car tonight. Please come get me.
Mike says he's gonna head out to get Nora, and we offer to join him, but he says to stay here. When we say bye to him at the front door, he offers a hug, but we awkwardly decline. After locking the door, we head upstairs to bed. We jump to 12:39 a.m. where we hear the front door ringing. Obviously, no one should be out at this time, so we cautiously move downstairs. It's a guy at the front door, and he asks us if we can let him inside, but our gut instincts tell us otherwise. He gets angry and bangs on the door, and that's where he reveals that we've ran into each other before. He leaves, but right before he walks away, he says that karma is a bitch. We walk back upstairs, and when we lay in bed, we hear... This is where we message Rick about what's happening, and finally he's here, so we head downstairs to let him inside to tell him about the situation. He asks us where our friend's at, and we tell him that he'll be back soon. He says, "So you're all alone right now, huh?" We go into the living room where Rick tells us that storms like this brings out all kinds of folks. But we get a phone message, and it's from Rick? He says, "Come back over." And this is when we find out that this man is not Rick. The imposter walks up to us and asks if everything's okay. After some dialogue, we confront him, and he says, if anyone is leaving this house, it will be one of us. We see him run to the front door to break the knob, and we take that time to head into the basement to hide. We see that he goes into the secret door in the basement, which gives us a window to make a run for it. But in terrible timing, as soon as we get to the top of the stairs, we get a call from Nora, which alerts the imposter. We hurriedly run upstairs and lock the door, which gives us some time to hide in the closet. And as soon as he leaves, we have no other option but to hide in the attic. And this is where we hear the door ringing. Some time goes by and we head down and we don't hear or see the imposter. We walk to the front door where we meet Mike and Nora again, and we cut to Sydney telling us that they called the cops and came to the conclusion that this man was trying to stay in the cabin when it wasn't being used, and that he was more than likely trying to plan a robbery when the time came. But the cops believed that he might have wanted to do more than just rob them. Rick asked for the man's appearances, and after telling him, Rick didn't ask any more questions, which makes Sydney believe that he might have known more than he was letting on. Sydney did get a full refund, and with that, we get the ending of Woodbury Getaway. We did it, guys. We are on the last episode for now, and I just want to say before we continue, thank you so much for making it this far. It means a lot. But enough yapping. Let's talk about Fears of Fathom, Scratch Creek. Before we can even play, we can see that the game changed its formula by allowing the player to pick who they want to play. In this episode, we can choose between Marcus or Tessa, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to choose Tessa because she seems to be the main character of this story. We start off by Tessa telling the developers that she played the Fears of Fathom series, and she couldn't help but notice that there were some similarities between one of her experiences and also one of the episodes in Fears of Fathom. At the age of 18, she was already an independent woman, and she lived with her boyfriend Marcus in an apartment that her father inherited from his grandmother. This was until Marcus got a new job offer, but the issue was that it was in a different state. And this is when we open up with the couple getting everything moved into the trailer. It was already getting late and there was only a few hours left to get all the stuff in the trailer. Tess thinks it'd be a better idea if she texts her dad to ask if they could stay just tonight and they can leave in the morning. He instantly shoots the idea down, so Tess and Marcus have to hurriedly get everything ready so they can start the moving trip. So after we're done putting away all the boxes, we hit the road. After driving on the freeway for a bit, we take a right onto Cascade Highway. We cut the black and now it's 8:08 p.m. We're on Old Cascade Highway, and Tess notices that there was hardly any cars on the road. We pass by a couple old houses, and that's when we notice this tree falls, blocking us from continuing forward. We have no other option but to move the tree. We head back to the car, and it's a relatively normal drive. That's until Marcus tells us that a light on the dashboard came on, and not long after, we see this jackass behind us leaning on his horn. When we get near this motel, that's when the truck behind us passes. It cuts to black again, and Tess says that the problem wasn't going away, so they had to find the closest shop. We arrive at what we can guess is a shop. It looks like a gas station to me, but beggars can't be choosers. We can't find any of the workers, but we hear that there's something out back, so we go and check it out.
Oh!
Howdy do.
After my friend gets a little scared, we explain to the worker about what's going on. We all head back to the front, and while walking, the worker tells us that his name is Harold Sweeney, but we can just call him Harry. He also sounds shocked that Marcus and Tess are together. He says,
Don't see many girls willing to step outside their circle.
Okay, Harry. Anyways, he checks up on the car, and that's when Harry starts to get a little more bold. He asks the couple how did people as different as them get together.
I used to do videos for the school's media club, and he did open mics.
Yeah, and she filmed one of my songs, and it kind of started from there.
That's not what I meant.
What do you mean?
Forget about it.
After a bit, he says that the problem is a coolant leak. A man comes out of the store and wants to have a talk with Harry. They go into the store for a bit, and when they come out...
Yeah, so, I took another look. We can't fix the car.
Hold on, you said you could take care of it.
Yeah, the engine's in worse shape than I thought. It looks like the head gasket is about to go out. The whole thing's kinda messed up.
God, what do we even do now? We're all the way out here.
It'll be alright, folks. Buck is gonna call his old pal Bill. He used to be a mechanic here, but retired a few years back. Fella still does some work at his house.
How are we supposed to get the car to Bill's? Do you have a tow truck?
Listen here. Man's told you, we can't help. Harry'll do a little patch job on the engine. That'll get you as far as Bill's house. But if you try to get back on the highway, you're looking at a catastrophic engine failure. Harry,
Gotcha, boss.
While Harry's patching up the car, we ask Buck if we can head into the store to get some drinks. He says no, and we ask why not. Buck replies with,
We ain't ever had one of his kind in my store.
we can't do much, so we head off. After a bit of driving, we arrive at what we can guess is Bill's house, and after knocking on the door, we meet this old woman. We tell her that we were sent here by Buck. She calls down Bill, and he gives our car a far glance to make his assessment on it. He says our car isn't made for hauling a trailer, and he mentions that it again might be the coolant leak, or worse, a blown head gasket. Bill offers that we can sleep in the car for the night, but the old woman says that we can visit with Miss Julia, who runs a bed and breakfast, and she says that the trip isn't too far. It's just up the hill. She says that there's a trail behind the house, and so after giving us a flashlight, we grab our luggage and head to the trail. While walking, we hear strange noises and we see this weird ritualistic altar, but it's probably nothing. We eventually find a clearing. Now we can see Miss Julia's place. We knock on the door and we are greeted by Miss Julia herself. She welcomes us in and offers us some food. We politely decline, and Marcus asks if he could use the restroom.
Hey guys, editing Rip here. When I was revisiting Scratch Creek, it looks like I missed some pretty key information, so I'm just gonna put it right here. This is from Marcus's perspective whenever he goes to the bathroom, and here, I'll just let you guys listen to it.
Julia said they were already on the trail. Young couple. Girl found the trail. Julia said the boy's black. Hot damn. Another one? That ain't chance, Henry. That's the morning star blessing us. Sends us what he wants taken. Notice how road's been busier than it's been in ages? These folks just keep showing up tonight. I heard why. Highway damn near went sideways again. Winds flipped a truck over near Carroll's. Highway provides again, huh? Maybe the dead'll stay buried a little longer this time. Good. Never did sit right with me. Ain't a true offering when they already paid their due. Yeah. Anyway, Julia wants linens brought up to the spare room. I'll get the sheets. You check the locks downstairs before bed. Get a move on then. She'll skin you alive if you're late. Won't need those coasties then, will we?
While we wait for Marcus, we see this man run down the stairs, and he says,
Don't.
What?
Don't even say anything. I'm leaving. You all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Excuse me?
Tell that crazy old upstairs that I'm gone. And whatever you people are doing here, I want no parts.
So after that interaction, Marcus comes out and Miss Julia lets us know that the room's ready. But before we go, she says that she wants to give us a grand tour of the place. After the tour, we go to a room and Miss Julia tells us some info, like how we can dial the phone if we need anything in case of emergency. She also mentions that she didn't notice any rings on us, so she makes sure to give us 2 beds instead of 1. 2, in her words.
Folks at Old Scratch Temple like to make sure people keep themselves pure.
Before she leaves, she also tells us that there are no keys for the rooms, there's only 1 skeleton key, and she asks if one of us can head downstairs to sign the guest book. She heads off and we tell Marcus that we're gonna take a bath. We notice that there are no towels, so we text Marcus, who calls Miss Julia. Marcus explains the situation and Miss Julia tells them that they must have forgotten the towels, but there are some on the drying rack in the church out back. While waiting for Marcus, we start hearing knocking on the door, but when we check it out, there's no one there. But not long after, we hear more knocking, and this time, there's a man.
Yes?
Hi? Who is this?
Henry, ma'am. Housekeeping. Julia said you were looking for linen.
My boyfriend just went down to get towels. I mean, that's what Miss Julia told us.
Oh, that's right. He does like to keep things orderly. But see, I brought some freshly folded towels from downstairs. Won't take a second.
I thought Miss Julia said you were asleep.
Huh. Strange. We're always on call here. Open up, please.
No, he's already on his way, and he'll be back any minute. Thanks, though.
Nip, why are you being difficult when I'm just trying to do my job? I know exactly how you city folks look at us. Let me guess. You already told him I'm some hillbilly creep trying something with you, right? Got me all figured out in that pretty little head. I'm sick to death of this shit. Open the damn door. I don't think your boy is as close to coming back as you think. I'm getting sick of this shit. Open the damn door now. Rough talk got the job
Done, didn't it? People straighten up,
Hey, babe. Oh,
Who the fuck are you?
Now that the man is gone, we ask Marcus if he's okay. He says that he's fine and puts the towels on the rack. Our throat starts to act up and Marcus tells us that he forgot to sign the guest book, so we might as well kill two birds with one stone. So we head downstairs while Marcus freshens up. We sign the book and put some words on the page. We grab her a cup of water and that's when we run into Miss Julia.
Up late, dear?
Sorry, I just needed some water. My throat.
Your young man, a little while ago. What was he doing down there?
Down where?
Oh, you know where, sweetie. Bobby saw him. Did I not specifically tell you both when that door stays closed?
I don't think he went through that door. He just went to get towels.
I told him the church basement, where the laundry is, not this basement. Get some rest, dear. Big day tomorrow.
After our conversation, we talk with Marcus and explain what happened. Looks like Marcus was holding back on some important information and Tess gets frustrated at him. After some more bickering, we tell Marcus we're gonna head to bed. We wake up at 3:33 a.m. and we again have to head downstairs and grab some water. But while we're about to walk back, we hear some people talking.
That son of a bitch got away.
Then you were too slow.
Yeah? Or maybe you slipped.
Don't you dare speak to me that way, lest the morning star burn you where you stand.
He'll burn you for your foolishness. How the hell could you let him slip out of here? We still haven't tracked him down, and he could be sitting in a state police post right now, telling them everything he saw.
He didn't see a thing. He won't matter.
We needed him.
We have another. He's being taken care of.
What? You sure?
I wouldn't open the door if I weren't.
If this goes wrong,
it won't.
Get your shit together, Julia. I don't know if you've noticed, but shit like today's manhunt is becoming a little too common since you had those two goons handle everything. Mitch is going to start asking questions, and I won't go down for this alone.
You should go back before someone sees you where you shouldn't be. And I hope the next time I see you, you'll remember who you're talking to.
That cuts both ways.
As soon as we check on Marcus, he comes out and tells us to run. Confused, we follow him, and when we're about to go downstairs, we hurriedly hide inside the coffins, and after some waiting, we make another run for it. There's no place to hide in the house, so we run as fast as we can back to Bill's house. Now that we're back at Bill's house, this happens.
Oh. What's the commotion?
She said they bolted into the woods.
Of course they did.
Asked me to keep watch here in the middle of the damn night. All because those two boys of yours couldn't keep it straight.
Let them run. They won't get far.
Hope you are right. This could turn into a problem if we don't find them. Coming! Heard we already lost one earlier. Wandered in himself. One report might slide. Two?
It's Julia again.
I said I'm coming!
Ain't the first time. Likely won't be the last. I'll handle it.
We see that Buck is patrolling the area, but with Buck's back turned, we hide inside the trailer. We patiently wait for an opportunity to get out of here, and thankfully it comes when Bill calls in Buck. We unhook the trailer and get out of here. Old fart Buck tries to stop us, but we escaped. We closed with Tessa telling us that they barely managed to get back on the road before the car gave out. They called the cops, and after getting taken in to investigate, they ultimately came back with nothing incriminating. She says that when talking to the sheriff, he didn't call the couple crazy or even dismiss them, but instead he listened, which creeped her out even more. At first, I didn't connect the night to Jack's story, but something makes me believe those people were somehow involved, and that sentence connects back to Ironbark Lookout. But with that, we come to the end of Scratch Creek. Alright, so Fears of Fathom. It's a great series, but it does have its flaws too. There are a couple that I can point out right away. The eating effects. They do not need to be this loud. It sounds like a mukbang video is being played in my ears. So please, for the love of God, just turn it down a little bit. And one of the most obvious flaws is the jump scares. But not just the jump scares themselves, but the repetitiveness of them. To be more specific, I would like to point out the ones in episode 5, Woodbury Getaway. The one with Mike scaring us when we check under the bed. It felt so unnecessary and it could have done without it. They came off as cheap and really predictable, but besides those cherry-picked things, this series is great. The atmosphere in all the episodes were amazing, and if I had to pick one best episode, I would go with Ironbark Lookout. It was the first to bring in voice acting, and it really captured the feeling of isolation. And talking about Ironbark Lookout, I discovered something when I was revisiting Scratch Creek. Here, take a look. If you see on the last page of this book, you can see this message. It says, Miss Julia, a mutual friend of ours passed this book along to me a few years ago, and I thought you would enjoy it. I suppose this was written more as propaganda than authentic history. But Reverend Hobbs would have a difficult time drawing in new congregants if it were too honest. The heretics at New Scratch Temple would not have loved his emphasis on remaining unchanged by passing trends. The morning star will burn them away. Be on the lookout for a guest I'll be sending your way. Her name is Marley, and I think she needs a little break from the park. I've assured her that a short visit to Scratch Creek would change her in ways I cannot describe. Your friend and brother, Connor. I brought this up because this episode seems to really want to try and connect itself with Ironbark Lookout, and there's only one Connor we know so far. And yes, if you have not connected the pieces, it's Connor Hawkins, our old pal over in Tower 11. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. But with that, we reached the end of the video, and I hope I was able to get you guys caught up on all the Fears of Fathom episodes for now. I might make another video once season 2 wraps up, so that might be in a couple of years. But I just want to say again, thank you so much for watching till the end, and if you enjoyed, then consider dropping a like. It helps out a ton, and if you don't want to miss any of my future videos, then drop a sub. There's going to be some more spooky, scary videos coming, and I cannot wait to release them for you guys. Also, before we go, I also want to say, if you guys can, consider checking out my Twitch. I stream there pretty often, and it's just an overall good time talking to you guys. Like I said, that's going to be all from me today. Have a great rest of your day or night, depending on where you live, and as always, I love y'all. Stay safe. Bye-bye.